All right, so we just got done watching a video talking about the Hindu multiverse theory with Amber, who is a very, very big astronomy fan.
Yes.
Researcher lady person.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a second. I wanted to look at more Hindu multiverse related stuff, and I found this video from TRS Clips. I have never seen anything from TRS before. Because of what he's talking about, I thought this would be fun.
I got a funny feeling. I got a funny feeling. Yeah.
Hello, people. I'm Jaby KOAY, joined by Amber Trujillo.
Yeah.
And we're looking at crazy Hindu multiverse theory explained by a monk. Amber it has a Instagram account that is all about looking at astronomy, astrophysics,
I'm
ideas.
obsessed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's super into that stuff. So much so that she didn't even know that Marvel's What If is talking about the multiverse, or that the films are talking about that stuff. But I might have converted her today.
It wasn't very hard, by the way. You just said multiverse, and I went, okay.
Yeah, exactly. If you like following people on social media who talk about multiverse, Amber's your gal. Thank you, TRS, for allowing us to react to this. Very, very much appreciated. And if you're not cool with it, just leave a comment and I'll take it off. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Here we go.
It's not everyone's cup of tea to consume an entire podcast. That's why, welcome to the Ranveer Show's highlights channel, TRS Clips. Subscribe and hit that bell icon. Something I've been studying a lot of lately is astrophysics, which is, you know, the physics of the universe, black holes, the stars, and the deeper you get into astrophysics, you realize that the universe is massive. It's just incredibly large. You don't even understand how large it is. If you think it's large, just read a little bit of astrophysics and your mind will be blown away by, how much more mega it is than you believe it is. Since you've read the Bhagavad Gita, since you've studied it, so since you've read all these holy scriptures, does any of the holy scriptures actually talk about the universe as in, outer space, what's out there?
Oh yeah, extremely, in great detail. So it's so fascinating, Ranveer. The Western world, about 700 years ago, only knew that the earth is flat. And they believe that the earth...
About yesterday, they think the world is flat too.
Yeah, I know.
We got lots of flat earth theorists out there for some odd reason. Don't know why. That came back, but it's there.
Yeah.
And they believe that the earth is the center of the universe. That was the geocentric theory. Then it moved to the heliocentric theory, that the sun is the center. And the scriptures in our traditions, the name they have for geography is Bhugol. The earth is round. They knew it all the while. And they have explained in so much of detail that there are 5 mandals, 3 trilokis, 7 lokas. So the first is the Chandra mandal, whose lok is Chandralok. It is rotating around a mandal called the Bhumandal, whose lok is Bhulok, the earth planet. But this Bhumandal is also not fixed. It's rotating around the Surya mandal, whose lok is Swarlok. And the Antariks, the space in between, is Bhuva. So this Bhu, Bhuva, Swa creates one triloki. But the Surya Mandal is also not fixed. Now this I'm telling you from these scriptures, what they have described 5,000 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I want to read, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. It's Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita.
I'm not going to tell you how to say it because I don't know either. Bhagavad Gita. Sure, Bhagavad Gita, yes.
And yeah, they talk about this stuff, and I read a tiny bit of it, and I was like, huh, that's weird that they just were saying this, but people back then were also a lot more observant, I will just say that, to our sky. They were a lot more connected.
Well, we have a lot more distractions. Ironically, stuff that should educate us on this with way more ease, but we are just on TikTok. Achara, can you come here for just a hot sec? How do you pronounce the word? Is it Bhagavad Gita?
Bhagavad Gita.
Say it again louder, please.
Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita. Did I say it right?
Bhagavad Gita.
Can you come here for a second? I can't hear you.
Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita.
There you go.
Well, she's a Buddhist and she's actually had a lot of Indian friends growing up. And so
really?
Bhagavad Gita.
I really want to read it.
That this Surya Mandal is rotating around Parameshthi Mandal. And the Loka, the planet there, is Janalok. And the Parameshthi Mandal is rotating around another Mandal, Swayambhu Mandal, whose Loka is Brahmalok. So all this, now science tells us that like the sun, in the Milky Way, there are 100 billion suns. and like the Milky Way, there are 100 billion galaxies.
Yeah, there's 100 billion. That's what scientists have said. There's 100 billion stars in the Milky Way, right? Is that I mean, this is it's an absurdly large number is what we've estimated.
Yeah, it's
100 billion.
It's ridiculous. I don't know the exact number. They don't really know the exact number, but it's in the billions, possibly a trillion.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of stars in our galaxy. We're like a relatively
densely populated. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Which means that there are 10 to the power 22 suns approximately in this entire universe.
Wow.
However, now science is talking about the multiverse theory, right? That there are other universes as well. And the Vedas say, you know what? How many universes are there? All of this that you are perceiving is one universe. Like this, there are infinite universes. And each with one Shankar, one Brahma, one Vishnu. Can I tell you a little story?
Sure, sir.
It is said that once Brahma went to meet Lord Krishna in Dwarka. And he asked the gatekeeper, tell Sri Krishna Brahma has come to meet him. So Sri Krishna asked the gatekeeper, tell him which Brahma is he. He asked, Brahmaji was astonished, is there any Brahma apart from me? So he tell him, the four-headed Brahma, the father of the four Kumars. The gatekeeper said, Sri Krishna called him in. So Brahmaji on coming, he said, Bhagwan, what was the meaning of your question, which Brahma? Is there any Brahma apart from me? So Lord Krishna smiled. By his Yoga Maya, he called the Brahmas of innumerable universes. And they were all coming and offering their pranams. And our Brahmaji saw that there is one Brahma who's got 1,000 heads.
Whoa.
So our Chaturmukhi Brahma said, how big will be his universe? And then there was one Brahma who had 1 lakh heads.
What?
And one Brahma who had one...
Well, 1 lakh is, I might be wrong about this. I apologize. I think it's 2,000. 1 lakh, I think, is 2,000 if I'm not mistaken.
So 2,000 heads?
Wait, I forget. I think it's 2,000. Or 100,000. Sorry. I'm way off. 100,000. That's what 1 lakh is.
Wow. You gotta have a strong neck.
Yeah. The thing he's making me think of as he says this is just like the potential absurdity of another universe entirely where the rules are completely different.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, naturally 1,000 heads, like, or 100,000 heads, like, what, you get 1?
Yeah.
Or 3? Like, 100,000 is what everybody here has,
Yeah.
you know?
1 lakh heads. And one Brahma who had 1 crore heads. And one Brahma who had 1 Arab, 1 billion heads. So dekhi Chaturmukhi Brahma hailo chamatkar Krishner charane asi karilo.
I forgot what 1 crore is. Because, like, obviously I'm on the American system. So 1 crore, 1 million. Or wait, no, hold on. 3 zeros, 10 million. So he went from 100,000 to 10 million to 1 billion.
A lot of brains.
Yeah.
Chaturmukhi Brahma hailo chamatkar Krishner charane asi karilo namaskar. Our Brahmaji fell at the feet of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna said, Brahmaji, there are infinite universes. Yours is the smallest. That is the extent of God's creation. And all of this is 1/4 of creation. This is the material realm. And beyond this is 3/4, which is the spiritual realm, where this Maya, this Kal, this Karm cannot go. So that is when we say God is great. That's how great he is.
What's out there in the 3/4?
It's indescribable. Because our words can only compare with the glories of what we see
In the
here.
material world, yeah, the physical world.
Right. Now let us say that we wish to give a comparison. We will give it with material things. And that is made by a different energy. So this material realm is made by an energy called Maya, the material energy. And we see so much of glory in every aspect of material creation, from the tiniest Higgs boson to the biggest galaxies.
To Cristiano Ronaldo.
I like how he goes from Higgs boson to the vastness of the universe.
I forgot what the
which,
Higgs boson is.
It's the God particle. So it's what I do
Is that
not,
is that what they're trying to figure out with the Hadron Collider? Is that what they're trying to find?
I don't know if they actually, I think they discovered it. I don't know too much about quantum mechanics, but I know that it has to do with the Higgs field and all this other stuff.
Okay.
Sure. Absolutely. If there's glory manifesting in everyone, to Sachin Tendulkar.
Yeah.
So-
Sachin Tendulkar is, they call him God. He's the greatest cricket player of all time. He's like what Michael Jordan is to us,
Oh,
but for
got
cricket,
it.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Now, all of this is glorious. Imagine the glory of Yoga Maya. When the computer revolution started, one college boy came up to me and said, Swamiji, what computer does God use to keep an account of our karmas? So I said, computer is made by the material energy, and God has a superior energy called Yoga Maya, by virtue of which He knows everything that we thought of from the time we were born till today. Not of one lifetime, but our infinite lifetimes. And not one soul, but infinite souls of creation. So how does God manage to do all that? By His Yoga Maya. By that Yoga Maya, He creates His divine abode. So let it suffice to say that it is Sat, Chit and Anand. It is eternal, full of bliss. Now can you imagine objects made of bliss? And sentient consciousness. So that abode is Satchid Anand, full of divine bliss. It's for the perfected souls. That means when we reach that perfection, we will then be there.
The host on the right, he just looks like so blown away mentally. It's hilarious because he's just like taking it all in. It's intense, right? I am not a religious person. I am reticent to call myself a spiritual person, even though I do hold some spiritual values and ideas.
Yeah.
But listening to him talk definitely gets me juiced. It gets me
Right?
excited. Like, he seems like a fun guy to listen to. And just learning about the correlation between this and what we understand about astrophysics and all that. It's fun.
It's really interesting, and it's really cool to hear, because he was saying, I'm so ignorant to this, but it's 5,000 years old. Is that what he said?
That's what he said, yeah.
Well, the fact that there is so many similarities between what they're exploring within astrophysics to this part of Hinduism, that it's like, are we just recycling those facts? Like it's just, I don't know. It's really cool when an ancient religion,
or belief system of any kind,
yeah, you go, oh wow, they thought about that way before us. These aren't new ideas that we're thinking about. Now we have the
instruments
to be able to be like, there's more of a probability that it could be.
Yeah.
And very serious scientists are looking into multiverse theory. They're looking into, multiple dimensions and all of this cool stuff. It's fun to hear, just different belief systems, exploring it as well. Just because you hold a belief system. I know so many scientists that hold strong belief systems that are the most analytical people as well. There's sometimes a misconstruity. I myself am not religious like you. I don't like to say I'm spiritual, but I'm also like exploring Hinduism, and just because I love learning.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what do people think about this?
I just think that there's a negative connotation with being in LA and saying that you're spiritual, because it's just this
That is so true.
It's just a very vapid sort of vain, like,
Yeah.
I'm spiritual.
Yeah.
It's like, what does that even mean? Like, what do you mean by that? It's, I do yoga like twice a week.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? But like, I get what you're saying.
Maybe I'm jaded in that sense, which is why I'm like trying to expand my breadth of knowledge. The more you learn about different things, the more it informs what you're interested in too.
Right.
Can you become imperfect when you go there if you fail a test there?
That's a silly question.
Once we are situated in knowledge, then the ignorance will not overcome us again. Tad Vishno Paramam Padam Sadaha Pashyanti Suraya. It's the soul is on a journey. So in the journey, we are slowly growing and we're taking a few steps ahead, maybe a few steps back, and then again a few steps ahead. But once we reach that perfection, it means that now we are situated in knowledge. So when you have divine bliss, then why should you choose something far inferior?
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, I mean, what he just said, my brain is going in 8 different directions. So a long time ago, I had this notion of soulmates, right? Like if you met your soulmate and then she died, or in your case, if he died, right? Would you get married ever again? The more progressive version of me goes, yeah, totally. The old school version of me goes, why would you ever get married after your soulmate dies? Because you'll always be settling for second best for the rest of your life. Well, that's what he said at the end, kind of made me think of. The other thing though, the other Hinduism video that we watched, Hinduism multiverse video that we watched, made me think about the antiquated notions of science. Everything he explained, and he sort of talked about it here, still pits the Earth at the center of all of this. And that was my only, I guess.
Is that what he said, that it was still?
I mean,
I thought that. Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, there's some things he was saying where I was sort of flying over my head, and I'm like, because like I can't catch it all. Like,
I thought that he was saying that they thought that it was a heliocentric theory, but I might have messed.
What he was going through there was the different iterations of what science has thought. That's what he was going through at that point in the video, I think. Yeah, he was talking about the evolution of science at that part, because he's going, we used to think as scientists that the Earth was the center of the galaxy.
Right.
And then we thought the sun is the center of the galaxy. And then we realized, but in the previous video, that was more so what I'm clinging onto there, is they showed the Earth at the center of all of this expansion, which is just like, that's from our perspective, that's how it looks, right? It's a sort of a selfish human perspective. But the ideas outside of that, beyond that, are still really cool to consider. And its correlation with science, and just how wild it is to consider that our imagination, the imagination of humans 5,000 years ago, it absurdly parallels some of the like scientific studies of today.
Right. It's pretty, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you just hit it on the
nail on the head.
Yeah, nail on the head. That's exactly what I was thinking.
So anyway, that was a ton of fun. Hopefully you guys had fun too, and do let us know your feelings in the comments below. Follow Amber on the social media, on the Instagrams, so you can find her talking about astrophysics and all that stuff. And I'm curious to see what you post about this, maybe at some point, this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to dig in a little bit more, I think.
Yeah. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up to let YouTube know you enjoyed what you watched. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
Amber.
Peace out.